Which champion should we build and which ones should we completely ignore? What is up, guys? This is Cobb. Welcome to the account of Mr. Sinfolk, man, which honestly, it's a pretty well put together account. This account is like a month old, by the way, and so it's coming along very, very nicely indeed. You might even think that their builds look pretty good as well, with Jorgid the Breaker's build right here. Not looking too bad. It's lacking a bit of crit damage, but apart from that, it's looking pretty saucy. And then you look at the Corvus build and oh god, he's got 0 speed. Zero speed. Corvus on this account. Very, very crazy stuff. The attack amulet, crit damage gauntlets, but he's got no crit damage. It looks like we're falling into a big trap here on this account of forcing item builds and forcing like artifact sets onto champions before we have good enough artifacts to actually, oh my god, look at this chest. Before we actually have good enough artifacts to support those sets. Yeah, needless to say, this is going to be a 2-part account takeover, man, in terms of videos. But for now, all we care about, man, is pointing out which champions to focus on building next without looking too much at the builds. In fact, I'm just going to hide most of them, else I'm going to have an aneurysm. Man, before we get to that, if you guys are looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account right now, is an incredible time to get that done. Just use the beginner promo link that's down below at the top of the video description box right now to create your new Raid account, man, for Basilius Roanus as your day 1 starter legendary champion as soon as you're done with the tutorial on that brand new Raid account. A whole bunch of free epic champions as well as you level that account on up. You can even get your hands on Thorlin Foulbeard on day 1 of your new account as well by inputting beginner promo code Demon Slayer as soon as you're done with the tutorial on that new account as well, man. Crazy, crazy good time to be starting off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man. Okay, build or ignore. Now, I'm glad to say that of the level 60s that we've leveled up so far, very, very good stuff. Been lucky enough, man, to grab the Praver nice and early on. Great heals, great defensive buffs, also the increased speed buffer, also brings a revive. Like, she does a hell of a lot in a lot of areas of the game. Great to see that she's fully booked. Love it. Jorgid the Slitherer, great stuff as well. He's almost fully booked as well. We're like halfway there. Okay, we're like halfway there, kind of, with booking out Jorgid. Don't mind that. I think that the Corvus is great as well. I wouldn't have even minded seeing the books go into the Corvus before Jorgid, to be honest. So all great options there, and yeah, just very, very happy with the look of the level 60 champions overall on this account. Now, which champions do we want to be building out next as we go on through this list of most of the 5 and 4-star champions? Build or ignore. Starting with Ithos. Ignore. Okay, I would ignore this champion, mostly because, and I'm going to get this out of the way right now, legendary skill tomes on an early game account like this, they're bloody gold dust, okay? They are premium, and frankly, we're only halfway through booking out Jorgid, as we've already touched on. I would recommend we fully book out Corvus the Corruptor. We're going to be using this guy, Ice Golem Dragon, most importantly, Demon Lord Clan Boss, and so we need to get this guy fully booked as well before we can even think about sniffing any other legendary champions, and Ithos just isn't it. Like, he's a good jack of all trades legendary, triple hitter, A2, plays weaken debuff on a 310. Not too bad. He also brings in attack all enemies. This attack is always critical. I kind of feel like you want to build him with full crit anyway. His A1 destroys some max HP, which can be useful into Scarab King, but he's just too niche to build out just for that one single use. And again, too much of a jack of all trades in too many areas. Same thing with Karada Foxhunter as well, by the way. Great early game legendary to have. Triple hitter A1 is nice for progression in Finite, but we've got Coldheart. We've got Farrakhan, right? We've got options already on this account, man, to deal with Finite, and at the end of the day, Karado, where else are you going to use him? You know, you can place the weaken debuff in Chimera and then place block active skills against one of the Chimera forms as well, against Viper form. But again, it's just too niche for a legendary champion. They've got to be great in many, many areas of the game to justify the books. Which, by the way, I should point out as well that Jorgid is kind of that. He's a very, very good PvP champion, but on his attack all enemies skill, he also decreases all enemy 10 meters by 30% on a 310 cooldown skill, and he doesn't need accuracy, right? This 10 meter decrease cannot be resisted, and so he's amazing into all kinds of wave content, man. Spider, you can even throw him into like a bloody Fire Knight team for a bit of 10 meter control there as well, and so that's what we're talking about, man. A champion that's solid everywhere. Karado Foxhunter, he's fine everywhere. He ain't a Jorgid, right? Am I even pronouncing that name right, man? Jorgid. I'm assuming it's like an Eastern European pronunciation on that. I don't know, dude. It just strikes me as that. Whatever, man. Next to, man, a Kemptum level 50 champion. You know what? You know what, man? I wouldn't put him as the #1 priority on this account, but you know what? Build. I think that we can actually go ahead and build them on out. Just because taking a quick glance down the list of champions on the account, I do notice that we lack good Hydra damage dealers on this account. We've got like the Geomancer at level 60, which is pretty good. besides that, not a massive amount going on. The Takeover is also fully booked as well, so we might as well finish the job now and take him up to 60. We don't want to get too bogged down, by the way, with level 50s on this account. There are a lot of them right now. We might just be on the brink here of contracting a case of level 50 syndrome, so we do have to worry about that a little bit. Try to never have more level 50s than level 60s on your account, as a general rule, for me at least. But Takeover was solid, very, very good into wave content, as well as Hydra, solid into Spider as well. He'll also have long-term value on the count into hard mode difficulty Spider also, and a nice AoE Hex debuff as well is going to be very, very nice, particularly to take into Hydra as one of the debuffers. Next up, Godseeker Neri. She is definitely a build, probably the best out-and-out healer epic champion in the game, and you will always find use eventually using Godseeker Neri into Sand Devils and Acropolis, where you can use it as part of a two-man team to completely solo that boss, or I guess duo that boss. And this is just an example of what that team looks like. Now, I will say you can pair up Godseeker Neri with basically any HP burner, any max HP damage healer. I guess even poison champions could work into Sand Devil, though it's going to be very, very long clear time. But yeah, she can work in a team like this that you can build on out, and this is Sand Devil stage 25, and so she's always going to find long-term value on the account. She's also pretty good into Amius as well. Now, I should also mention that Aniri, she's one of those champions that peaks a little bit later on in your account, in like the mid-game of your account. I wouldn't prioritize building her out super, super fast as like a priority champion on this account in particular. Oh yeah, and also do actually use promo code GameLeap, by the way. If you haven't used that promo code just yet, it's a promo code that kind of gets recycled and reactivated every now and again. Free energy refill for you there, man, if you need it. Next up, man, we've got Ugo, who, frankly, we don't actually have any reliable spammable decrease defense champion at level 60 just yet on this account. This is a champion that I would build out as a A-star priority on this account, man, if this was my account. Yeah, decrease defense debuff at 100% land rate, 3-turn cooldown, is already premium on its own. Block buffs debuff as well is also absolutely crucial to take into the likes of Hydra as well. This account is very, very close, man. It has very, very good champions, by the way, for actually getting started into Hydra, and so there's going to be a lot of Hydra champions that I recommend building on this account, because we can start looking at that very, very early indeed. Yeah, also brings heal, debuff cleanse, just an amazing champion all round, definitely a build. Next up, Farrakhan the Fat. We've also, ooh, are we spreading our skill books? We're spreading our skill books here, man. Oh no, don't give me this aneurysm, dude. I just recovered from, man, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, man. I just noticed, so we put like a bunch of books into the Aniri, but we didn't get all of the cooldown reduction on these skills, which is what you're really looking for, right? You're looking to reduce the cooldown of your skills. So we stopped booking the Aniri, hopped into the Ugo. We didn't finish booking the A2, which is the most important skill probably in all of Ugo's kit, to finish booking on up, and then we jumped into the Farrakhan the Fat as well, and we started spreading skill books here also. Ugh, you gotta finish what you start, man, when it comes to booking up your champions. Needless to say, Farrakhan the Fat is basically conjoined with Ugo, right, as like A-star priority for champions to build on this account as well. He's going to be incredible into Chimera, right? He's just an incredible Chimera champion. He brings a lot of debuffs, HP burn, poison, even decreased defense on his AR1 that are great into Chimera clan boss and activate all kinds of trials and get you fresh rewards. He also brings the ally attack, which is key as well for finishing yet more trials. Unique buffs that he brings to the table as well. These also finish more Chimera trials, and he's just going to bring decent damage overall, man, and get more mileage out of your damage dealers into Chimera. And that is all without even mentioning Demon Lord Clan Boss, where he's obviously a monster as well. Yeah, finish booking the Ugo, finish booking the Farrakhan, get these guys to 60 as fast as possible, get the banners on these guys, get them moving fast. What does the build look like on the Ugo? Oh god, it's glacially slow. Oh no, and we also trying to, oh god, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get to the builds and stuff for the champions, and oh god, the lifesteal on the Farrakhan. I'm gonna get to the builds of the champions in another follow-up video on this account, man. Next up, Fane, don't build this champion, which is crazy. I would not build this champion. We don't need it anymore on this account, frankly. The only thing that the Fane brings that we kinda want into Demon Lord, that we don't already have at max level, is the decreased attack, right? She brings poisons, decreased attack, weaken, decreased defense. We already have all of those things combined with like the Farrakhan and the Geomancer are already checking all those boxes into Demon Lord. We actually, and also by the way, the Corpus the Corruptor also brings a 60% land rate when fully booked, decreased attack debuff on his A1, which is quite reliable if you're comboing your Corvus with a Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? So like, we don't need any of the Fane's tools. This is one of those like remarkable early game accounts where we've kind of just got all of the tools already covered, and so it's a rare occasion where I'm going to suggest we ignore the kill. The Elhain, she's fine to level 60 eventually if you're lacking damage dealers into high elves, but besides that, yeah, she's not high priority at all. For now, I would put Elhain in the ignore bucket. Next up, and that brings us to Lemonisi. Ignore this champion. This is just, again, a case of us having better options, of us having better legendaries to put those books into. Those things are gold dust. And what we don't need is just another sort of generic damage dealer to be taken up to level 60 and dumping those skill books into when we already have some pretty deserving legendaries to do that with, man. Masiliac Priest on. Wow, this is a good champion, but ignore, at least for now. Great champion, worth building, really, really good stuff. He's kind of Corvus the Corruptor's little bro. You know, he's kind of like, Corvus the Corruptor is like your big cousin who's playing, you know, Gran Turismo or something on his PlayStation 2, and you go around to visit the house, and when Corvus the Corruptor leaves the room, you steal the controller as Masiliac Priest on, and you're doing your best, you know, and you can do a pretty good job on Gran Turismo. You're not too bad, man. You're speeding along, and then just as your cousin walks back into the room, right, Corvus walks back into the room, you skid out, you burn out, you crash, you finish like second last in the race, and now your cousin is raging because you screwed up his save. Don't mean to bash Masiliac Priest, this is a great champion. I do actually use Masiliac Priest on my main account, as you can see right here, to solo the likes of Ice Golem Stage 20, Ice Golem tournaments, Dragon tournaments, and stuff like that as well. Just to help me farm food champions, he can do the job in regeneration and immortal gear, and just solo the crap out of these dungeons, which is hilarious, even though I've got my Masiliac Priest built badly with low resistance in this particular clip. I mean, there's a case to be made for building this guy if we're going to really take our time with Corvus, and we feel like it's going to take us many long months to get the skill books into Corvus. Masiliac Priest could replace Corvus the Corruptor in a lot of team builds and stuff that I'm going to plan out on this account. But that exception aside, I put him in the ignore bucket. Next up, Magna, ignore. I don't know, dude. Okay, I'm going to have a video series coming out pretty soon where I review all of the epic champions I've ever maxed on my main account. Magna is one of the earliest champions that I actually level 60'd on my main account. And dude, spoilers, I don't believe in this champion. I don't think that he's very good. I actually think that he's way overhyped, man. I think that he was very good when he was released. Maybe that's what like all like the super positive reviews and stuff come from. I feel like he is bigly overrated, man. Bigly. Maybe that's a crazy hot take. Maybe I'm a madman. What I would say is that leveling another just level 60 generic damage dealer right now, like a Magna on this account, in all seriousness, probably not the best idea. Also don't know why he's got a couple skill bucks, which I just spied, but there you go. Deacon Armstrong, 60, build this guy bloody ASAP. Ideally, immediately after the Ugo, maybe even before the Ugo. This guy might be like a star priority to get up to 60 on this account. One of the best champions in the game. Put this guy in basically all of your teams alongside, on this account, Praver the Slitherer, who you have fully booked. Amazing support duo. You're going to have your team moving extremely fast. It's going to be incredible. But even if you just got like a high Katoon, Deacon Armstrong, high Katoon, yeah. That's like an amazing speed booster combo for like most dungeons in the game. And so, yeah, Deacon, he's a goat. Next up, that brings us to a couple of legendary champions, man. Vitreous the Anointed, who, oh god, look at all the reading I've got to do, man. That's too much reading action. Long story short, man, his kit brings a decreased speed on the A1, which is, you know, fine, into like Scarab King, Eternal Dragon. It's a pretty good A1. It's not amazing many other areas of the game. You can put up like a Fire Knight team if you're desperate for a decreased speed A1, but it's kind of all he brings. That's like super out there, especially for a Void legendary champion. I don't think we want this guy eating up the legendary skill books. I'd wait until we pull something a little bit better. It just also brings a whole lot of destroy enemy max HP on his double hitter A3. So again, he's like a pretty damn good Scarab King champion. But I don't know, man. We've also got a, if I just like cheat a little bit and just reveal that we've got a Vegas on this account. Vegas built in regeneration, immortal gear with high resistance stats. Can solo the crap out of Scarab King, you know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, no. He's built in destroy gear with high resistance and then like an immortal two-piece. Can solo Scarab King is what I meant to say. Yeah, so I don't see the appeal of building Mr. Vitreous. Next up, man, we've got Rule. So Rule the Huntmaster, he brings a AoE Hex on his A3, increase accuracy. This is book without a 4-turn cooldown, also plays perfect available for this champion for 2 turns, and then give him all kinds of 10-meter fill, which is fine. And then the A2 3-turn cooldown, attack all enemies, plays an extra hit on enemies under Hex. Debuffs will ignore 25% of each target's defense if there are 4 or more enemies under Hex. Brings a decreased defense on his AO1 and some decreased speed to enemies that are hexed on his passive, as well as, you know, some just a few of some other mechanics. A fine champion, a really fine champion. I think that this is the champion that I would actually focus on booking up next once we are done with the higher priority champions on this account. Yeah, he's like relatively solid. I think that he's where my books would go next, but I wouldn't be super hyped about doing it. Again, I'd still just wait and see. Plans might change. We might pull a better legendary than Rule the Huntmaster, who's better in more areas of the game than him. I wouldn't trust his in-game reviews. I feel like these are way underrating. Poor Rule, I think that he's fine. But yeah, hold out, see if we find any better options. Next up, Seeker. Build this, man. This is one of those champions that's like medium priority. I'd say it's like a B tier priority champion to build. We can wait to see if we find any better provoker options for taking into Hydra. If we don't find any within, like, I don't know, a couple months, go ahead and fully max out the Seeker, man. Full books, take him up to 60, everything, right? Make him nice and fast, high accuracy, and just let him spam his AO1 into the Head of Decay in Hydra and use him as our chief provoker champion. He's working great for me on my free-to-play account. This is actually my free-to-play squad running into Hydra, the Rector Drath, the Ugo. We've got a high Katoon as the speed aura lead, and so it's really quite budget stuff on my free-to-play account. But as you can see, the Seeker in this team is about to attack on into the Head of Decay, and he is the chief provoker on this team. I'm just got him moving very fast so he gets to spam off that A1, you know, ideally like a 2-to-1 ratio against the boss. You know, he's very fast compared to the Head of Decay, so he keeps with that provoke quite nicely into Hydra, which is very important indeed. So that's the role he's fulfilling for me. I think he could do it on this account unless we pull a better option over the next month or two. And we've got plenty of stuff to work on in the meantime on this account. So also finds pretty good use, the Seeker, into things like Tag Arena and stuff as well, when you're just getting started in that for the first time and are trying to push into, well, screw it. Nobody wants to hear me talking about pushing in Tag Arena. Let's be real, right? In fact, everyone just close the video right now. I'm talking to myself, basically. Tag Arena in 2025. Next up, a Colt Hat. This will be the second Colt Hat that we're building on the account. We've already kind of got a fully booked up as well, which is like a signal of intent, I suppose. I wouldn't super prioritize this, frankly. Having 2 Colt Hats on your account is lovely and allows you to do stupid things like this. And again, this is footage from my main account where we're just combining 2 Colt Hats, a Royal Guard, right? And any champion in the game that basically applies decreased defense and weaken against the boss. And it allows you to do stupid stuff like this against Spider Stage 20 for farming the boss very quickly, where your Colt Hats and your Royal Guards combine for just an ungodly kill speed. But frankly, yeah, we've already got a 60 Colt Hat on the account, and we've already got a Farrakhan that we should be taking up to 60 very soon. That's more than enough multi-hitters and ally attack skills and like Colt Hats A3. We're fine to have this as like a one-off for now. The dungeons are kind of solved on this account. It's just like gear and team composition and getting these champions 60. That's going to be our main issue. Don't think we need to be building the second Cold Hat anytime soon. And so, yeah, from here, unless we cover go over like a rare champion that I think is noteworthy, I'm going to go ahead and skip over it and assume that it is a skip. And just like an ignore champion, by the way. Buff the Rancid is a fine epic champion. I wouldn't mind taking this guy up to 50 on an account like this if we are struggling into the likes of Nether Spider and Doom Tower, where you've got to deal with all of those poison debuffs coming in. Buff the Rancid is able to reduce the damage that you take from those poison debuffs against Nether Spider in Doom Tower, and he also brings a little bit of debuff cleanse as well. And I think that we do need a bit of debuff cleanse action on this account. Preva does have ways of sort of mitigating debuffs by transferring debuffs from allies onto Preva herself, and then she transfers them back onto enemies with her A1. But if we need a bit of extra help against Nether Spider, wouldn't mind looking at both the Rancid, taking him up to 50. I wouldn't really take him any further than that. Next up, Vala. This is a safe to ignore champion. She's okay, you know, she's alright. On her A2, she does bring a 310 cooldown, 80% land rate, decreased defense on the A2, so she's fine into faction wars. Not mega reliable and nowhere near as good of a decreased defense epic champion as the likes of an Ugo that we've got on this account, and so no reason to rush her up. Hoffery's on this account is fine, he's alright. We're going to use him as a faction wars reviver eventually, but you know, besides that, not a high priority champion to build out by any means. Esther of the Mourner, much better than Hoffery's, right? She's a great epic champion reviver. Again, not a super high priority to build out on this account. I'll put her at like a C tier priority on the account, man. We don't need to rush this champion up by any means. Fantastic champion though to build eventually, that's for sure. Next up we've got Skrank, and I tell you what, man, I tell you what, I think Skrank could actually be like a C or a B tier priority on this account. Because again, just thinking about Hydra, we've got a lot of tools that we need to get started in Hydra. We're lacking good Hydra damage dealers. The Skrank brings a attack all enemies HP burn on the 3-turn cooldown, man. Also brings some 10 meter fill on this skill as well. His regular skills hit reasonably hard if he's got decent gear on him too. Also applies weaken on his A1. He's a pretty damn good Hydra damage dealer, to be fair. Also boosted by the fact that he's a void affinity champion, meaning that he doesn't care what affinity the Hydra heads are, right? He can never weak hit with his HP burn, which is just lovely to have. And so, yeah, Skrank, I'd actually consider this guy a somewhat high-ish priority. Next up, we've got Elsinia, who is a fusion component champion. I'd just put her in the vault and forget about her for now. Morag Bronzelock, again, maybe a D tier priority. We can eventually build the Morag, but at the end of the day, we've already got the Farrakhan on this account. We've already got the Farrakhan almost fully booked as well. The Farrakhan's kind of just doing Morag's job, but better, you know, in every way at this time. She's going to be great in things like faction wars and stuff eventually, Cursed City, that kind of thing, but not a high priority champion at all. Diana Gloompiercer is a good nuker. We could look to build her out in future as well. Pretty good, not high priority. Ostrox Boneglaive, we could look to build this guy out, maybe like a C tier priority for a Hydra B team when we eventually get there. We're talking like maybe 3 months down the line or something where we can really start thinking about building like a second Hydra team. Because of his, well, he brings a bit of debuff cleanse on his A3, and he brings a 3-turn duration, 3-turn cooldown block buffs skill against the Hydra heads, which is, yeah, very, very nice to have indeed. And so Ostrox is definitely a guy we could look at. Same as a White Dryad Nia. This is a great champion as well to also bring into Hydra. Brings ally protect as well as some friendly skill cooldown decrease on this here too. It's a bit of a weird skill. It's a 3-turn cooldown. It's only single target, but decrease the cooldown of allies' target skills by 2 turns. You also heal them for a bunch of the max HP. And she brings an attack all enemies on the A1 that brings a decreased speed debuff with it also. And so we could definitely put the White Dryad in something like a Cursed set and take her into a Hydra team as well. And for the sake of making this video not ramble on for too long, the rest of the epic champions, which we have like another block here to go through, I'm gonna super rapid fire. Skimforce, ignore for now. Ruggnor, ignore. Gala Longbraids, great champion. I'd still ignore for now. What we don't need is just like another generic damage dealer for the time being. Again, great champion, builder eventually, but for now, ignore. Runekeeper Dazdurk, we could look to build this guy out. He does bring debuff cleanse on his A3, which could be fantastic, into Nether Spider. As we already mentioned, dealing with those poisons is a big deal. Also brings increased attack and 10 meter fill. I could see us building this guy out instead of both the Rancid. What I will say about Runekeeper Dazdurk, we could build him out instead of both the Rancid and get good value out of this guy. He's definitely a champion that we build eventually, but for now, not super high priority. Same deal with Warcaster. No reason to rush building this guy out. Syla, I'd actually put her at like a D tier priority. She's just that good into faction wars with the decreased speed and the massive 10 meter decrease. She's incredible into wave content, and yeah, definitely build eventually. Not a super high priority. Same thing with Skullcrown. Kalia, not a big believer in this champion. Frankly, I would ignore. Same thing with Soul Drinker. To go, pretty good. Would build this guy eventually. Revives, increased speeds, bit of healing. Very good champion. Lorne the Cutter is a great progression champion into the likes of Fire Knight. We've got Fire Knight covered, man. We've got the Farrakins, we've got the Cold Hearts. Yeah, we're fine. You know, we don't actually need this guy for that job. Tyrell, I would ignore this guy. Again, his time has kind of come and gone already. This is a champion that peaks very early on your account, but kind of gets phased out over time. He's very good in the early game. Not much after that. Delaja, fine champion for faction wars. Not much more than that. Huskarul, similar deal, incredible into wave content. Sandslashed, I would ignore for now. Haikatoon, I'd ignore for now. Steel Skull, I'd ignore. Drake, I'd ignore. Vegas, I would think about actually building. Didn't see that one coming, did you, man? The last champion that we're going to touch on here. Vegas, I'd actually consider building this guy out. Just a solo Scarab King in Doom Tower. That would be like his one job on the account. And so we've got to make sure that we've got a build that can actually support that, right? We need a good high resistance build that can actually build like a good like 300-ish resistance for normal mode Doom Tower. But he's also going to be wearing a destroy set and ideally a 2-piece immortal set, right? And then he's going to be like decently fast as well and have like not terrible defensive stats. And so It's a little bit gear expensive. Make sure that we can hit the build first before building this guy out to do the solo Scarab King job would be my advice. Oh god, oh those are the champions down here I should also touch on as well. Yuzan is good, Aboro is good, not super high priorities from there. And so there you have it, man, as requested by Mr. Sinfolk himself, the account owner, a full breakdown of most of the roster at least that we could consider building, which champions I would build as a priority, and which ones I would consider we can pretty safe to ignore for at least like the next 5 or 6 months, you know, and really focus on other areas of the account that really need some help. Did you agree with the picks? Did you disagree with the picks? Let me know what you think down below, man. I've got a lot more work to do, of course, on this account, so I'm going to get to that after just a quick interlude, a quick break right now. Hey man, if you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, make sure you do that the best way possible, which is by using the beginner promo link that's down below to create that new raid account, man, and get all of the freebies that you see on screen right now. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you all enjoyed this one. And I'm going to catch all of you all this a tad bit later, man.